Boys, here's the truth. All of us, we got the same dream deep down. All of us, there's something innate about being a man that makes us all the same. We all have a strong desire for some of the same foundational dreams. And I'm going to talk to you about those dreams because some of you, you may have forgotten about what it actually is that you want. So I'm going to help you return to that childlike state of being able to put on your dream hat and literally imagine creating any life possible, creating the best man you could possibly become. And I want to talk about what's holding many of you back from actually attaining that dream, because a lot of us are settling for counterfeits, and I settled for them for so many years. And the counterfeit is not the real problem. The cause that's causing you to settle for the counterfeit is the real problem. So I want to get to the root cause of what's actually leading us to settle for counterfeits and keeping us from actually attaining the big four dreams that we all have as men. So boys, welcome in. Lord, I just thank you for bringing these men here. I just pray that you give me wisdom that's not from me, but from you. And I pray that you help these men to reignite their dream, to reignite their confidence and their ability to attain those dreams, and show them how to do it in a way that glorifies you and is in alignment with your word. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Amen, boys. Here's the big four. We're going to break it down just like this. The big four. 10 of 10 health. I always think of a video game. If you go in, I played very few video games in my life, but one of the ones I always played was Madden, because I grew up playing football my whole life. When you go in, you design the character. It's 0 to 99 for every attribute of that character. It's like speed, agility, strength, and we would all always max them out. 99, 99, 99. So 10 of 10 health. We all want this deep down. We all want to be in the best shape of our life. We all want to have control of our emotions. We want to be aware of our thoughts. We want to have that emotional control. We want to have peace of mind. We all want a loyal wife. Some of you, there's a very small percentage of men who just aren't called to a married life and raising a family. But 99% of us, we have a desire for a wife, for a woman, to build a family and build a legacy. All of us, we have a desire for purpose. None of us just wants to wake up, get out of bed, go through the motions during the day, even, just to get a check. Even if that check is, $300,000, $500,000. You may say, if it were $1 million, I don't care if I had purpose or not. I'm down to do whatever. But I guarantee you, once you got there and you did 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years of having no purpose but a lot of money, you're going to feel empty. You're going to feel unfulfilled. You're going to feel like, what's the point of life? The money means nothing. And we all want the peace of God. We all want to live a life where we have peace, where we're able to come home at the end of the day, where we're able to unplug, we're able to relax on the weekends. We're not worried about what's going on always. We don't have anxiety. We don't have stress. We're not always overwhelmed with the hustle and bustle, the struggle, the striving, the battle of life. So I'm going to go one by one. I kind of talked about at a high level what the dream is. I want to identify the counterfeit that most men are settling for, and then I want to diagnose, I want to uproot the cause so that you can address the root cause, remove the counterfeit, and actually attain the dream. So the first one, fellas, the first counterfeit is freedom. Well, I wake up whenever I want. I snooze my alarm because I want to have the freedom to just go with the flow. I'll go out on the weekends and have 2, 3, 4, 5 beers. Sometimes once in a while I'll get drunk. I'll smoke a quick bowl here and there after work or on the weekend. I'll eat McDonald's because I want freedom. I want to be able to enjoy the things of life. I don't want to live in the constraints of being tied down to this strict, healthy life. This is the counterfeit that you're being sold, is freedom, autonomy over your decisions, the freedom to truly enjoy real pleasure. The thing is, The real truth is you just don't want to take responsibility. It's easier to be irresponsible than it is to be responsible and take ownership of our health. And if irresponsibility wasn't an issue for you, then you would actually take the time to do what's necessary to get in the best shape of your life. Because when you're in the best shape of your life, your mindset is better. You have more focus, more energy, more creativity. That's going to flow into your relationship with God. When your body and mind are healthy, you're able to see things clearly. It's easier to hear from God. When your body, mind, and relationship with God are right, that flows into your career. You're able to show up as the best version of yourself possible. You're able to make the most money. You're able to take risk. You're able to step into things that create fear. You're able to do something that you actually enjoy and do it to the best of your ability. You're able to be the best man you possibly can for your woman, for your family, for your friends. And life is just better when you feel good. You have more confidence. So the lie, the counterfeit that they're selling you is freedom. You get to decide. It's my body, my choice. I get to decide whatever I want and what I put into it. But the real cause of accepting this counterfeit is irresponsibility. You just don't want to take responsibility. You need to actually realize, what I'm trying to do is help you realize why this is so much better than this. This is a lie. You're not actually free. You're a slave to your desires. You're a slave to comfort. You're a slave to what's easy. You're a slave to quick dopamine. You're a slave to what's pleasurable. But when you take responsibility, you remove this counterfeit and you step into a place of the best shape of your life, which is not just a physical thing and looking good and having muscles. It's physical, mental, spiritual, and that's going to radiate into every single other area of your life. So I know every single man, if he had the choice to choose between 7 out of 10 on the scale of his potential or 10 out of 10, he wants 10 out of 10. So take responsibility. Don't settle for the lie of freedom. And that is your path to start moving towards 10 of 10 health. Now, a loyal wife. We all want a loyal wife, but what is the biggest lie that they're feeding us? What's the biggest counterfeit? That biggest counterfeit, boys, it's no surprise. It is variety. Welcome to the 21st century. Go ahead, check out Pornhub. Go ahead, check out OnlyFans. Actually, you don't even have to worry about those two. You can just go on Instagram. There's girls shaking whatever, wearing whatever, saying whatever, right? Instagram, TikTok basically has porn on it, like straight up. If you're consuming that type of stuff on Instagram and TikTok, like you're getting a lot of variety, my dog, and a lot of unhealthy variety. And the cause right here is distraction. Because what the world wants to do is it wants to make you believe that this is better than this. This is better than this. And the reason you start to believe that, oh man, I'd rather have variety, I'd rather pleasure myself, I'd rather change it up than have one loyal woman. Oh, it's so hard to be loyal to one woman. You're distracted. And this is done intentionally to keep men weak. That's why it's on every single platform. That's why it's so cheap and accessible. That's why you can pay $2.99 for a subscription. Because they want to keep you distracted. Sexual immorality, sexual distraction, sexual perversion is the top thing that keeps men distracted from God. It's like, if this is God and this is you, every time you fall into lust is putting a wall up between you and God. So you will never step into the plan that God actually has for you if you're distracted by the desire for variety. And variety, once again, all of these are counterfeits. It's a counterfeit. You actually want a loyal wife. Because what's the thing with variety? You try a little bit, you have something, and then you're bored. So you're ready for the next thing. And then you're wondering if there's something better. Right? You don't want to be in that place. You want to have one woman. You want to be able to love her multiple different ways, get better at loving the same woman, and not actually be looking for something else to constantly fill your desires. You want to be content. You want to be happy. You want to build a legacy. You want to be loyal. but it's impossible to be loyal when you're constantly consuming variety. So what you need to do is you need to remove the distraction. Stop consuming that stuff. When you stop consuming that stuff, you stop believing the lie that I can't be loyal. You stop believing the lie that I don't even want a loyal wife, or I'd rather have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and actually I kind of am cool with cheating on my girl. That's fine with me. Bet if she's down, if she would let me have more, I'm down for that. I want that. You don't actually want that. But when you're looking at something, distraction that conditions you to variety, then you're going to believe, because you're distracted, this is what you want. But in reality, deep down, this is what you want. You know it. And so you have to remove everything that's distorting your perception of your dream. Because if you're always living in a place of variety and entertaining it and entertaining distraction, you will never become prepared to be the man who can actually attract, and more importantly than attracting, you will never become the man who can actually lead and be the man that a loyal woman deserves. So, that's the second dream, counterfeit and cause. Now, purpose. What I mean about purpose is we want to wake up excited. We want to have enthusiasm about what we're doing day to day, specifically related to what we're doing with work and our career. We want to feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. We want to feel like we're contributing to something. So this doesn't mean every single day you wake up, you're going to be like yippity-doo-dah-day, can't wait to go to work, and you love every single thing you do, and you never have to do things that are hard or things that you don't want to do. But what it does mean is that you feel like you're in the right place. What it does mean is you're doing something that's giving you more than a paycheck at the end of the day. And a lot of you don't want to admit that the only thing I get from this job is a paycheck. Because if you did admit that, that would convict you, that would condemn you of the fact that that's truly the only thing you're getting from that job. And if you were to admit that, that would give you a reason to change. That would make you look for something else. Whether that's just joining a big corporate company, there's nothing wrong with that. Go work for a big corporate company and do work that excites you, where you feel like you're contributing to something. Go work for a startup where you're super passionate about the cause. Go start your own thing. Be an entrepreneur. The calling for everybody is different. However, I know there is purpose for every single man. You're not supposed to just go through the motions just to get paid. Sometimes there will be seasons of that, right? Where we just got to get paid. We got to provide. We got to take care of what's necessary. We got to do what's necessary to live and to create our life for ourselves, for our family. But you should be moving towards something that you actually enjoy. And the counterfeit here that men settle for is security. Welcome to the American dream, the American lie that they're feeding you. You get to one company, they give you a nice couple stock bonuses, you get a nice retirement plan, a 401k match from them, and every couple years you get promoted, or you get a 7% or a 10% raise if you're lucky, and you know you have job security because you've been there for a long time, and as much as you hate the job, you know they're never going to fire you. So we settle for security. But deep down, we want purpose more than security. That's what I talked about earlier in the video. You could have that million, but if you have that million for 10 years and you absolutely despise what you're doing to get that million, the security doesn't matter anymore because you have no purpose. What's the point of living? Right? Money is a tool, not an end destination that we should be striving for. And the cause that's bringing men to a place where they settle for security over their purpose is they're afraid of failure. They're afraid to step out and take the risk and switch companies because they've been there for so long. They're afraid to take a pay cut to go and work and do a job that they're more excited about. They're afraid to go and start their own thing because they won't have consistent income coming in for a little while. It's fear of failure. So you have to decide the life that you're going to live. Are you going to just play it safe your entire life? I woke up every single day and I went to work and I lived a life and I never jumped into any fear. I never took any risk because I wanted to make sure that I could come home after 5 shifts a week and make my little TV dinner and sit in front of Netflix and then go out on the weekend, Monday through Friday, drink a couple beers, take a vacation once or twice a year, and, not worry about having a check come in. That's basically what you're saying. And I don't say this to talk down on you. I say this to encourage you because you were made for greatness. You were made for a huge purpose, to do something impactful, to do something that lights you up, bro. Imagine if I just stayed at Amazon. I could have been cruising at Amazon. I went and started working for Amazon as an engineer, data engineer in 2020. I could have just stayed there my entire career, collected stock units, seen my salary go up. What would I have done from there? Climb the ladder, maybe go and work for another tech company? I didn't despise the work that I was doing, but I sure wasn't excited about it, my dog. And so I remember I first went from Amazon corporate to consulting. I started my own company doing self-employed work, just working contract jobs here and there. And I remember the recruiters telling me, if you go self-employed, it's going to be hard for you to go back to corporate. And I knew that was a lie. I knew that was fear of failure. So I went and did it. And I doubled the amount of money I was making, and I was able to go and, live my dream at the time, which was living half the year in Florida, living half the year in San Diego, running my own company, paying no state taxes. And that gave me the freedom to actually build my coaching business on the side so that now I can do that full time. And I didn't even have the vision to start coaching when I went self-employed and started doing consulting work as a data engineer. But this is where it led me to, because I stepped into risk. I stepped into what I was afraid of. I didn't let the fear of failure hold me back. I don't want to live safe and secure all the time. Of course, I'm so grateful I have a roof over my head. We have food on the table every single night. We have our bills paid. I'm grateful for that type of security. But I'm willing to go through a little bit of unknown, some discomfort, some struggle, some adversity, dog, to live in my dream and have purpose. And you should too. Otherwise, you're just waiting to die. You're just waiting to die, dog. There's something more within you. So stop letting the fear of failure allow you to settle for security and allow you to miss out on your purpose. Take small steps. Move with intention. How can I stack the skills that I'm learning today, right now in my current position? How can I stack those for something better in the future? Every single thing you're doing day to day is an opportunity. You should be taking advantage of it to build a future, to navigate and build your next move. Now the last one, peace of God. Boys, we live in a crazy world. It's crazy out here. We work hard. We have stress. We got bills to pay. We got a wife. We got a girlfriend to take care of, to keep happy. We have families to take care of, to raise up, to create opportunity for, to provide for. Man, amongst all that chaos, it would be nice to have some peace of God. It would be nice to have some peace of God. But the counterfeit so many men are settling for is independence. Independence. I want to live my way because my way is the best way. And if I have to follow God, if the only way to get the peace of God is to follow God, then that means I am going to have to surrender my control. I'm going to have to let go of how I want to do certain things. I'm going to lose my independence. And that's exactly what you're afraid of. You're afraid of the loss of control because you believe, you have a false perception that if I have full control, I'm able to create the best outcome possible in my life. I want to ask every single one of you, is your life perfect right now? Are there areas in your life that you would like to change? I'm guessing 100% there are. And I'm guessing 100% you have even tried. Maybe not, right? Maybe you have not tried to change them. But there's probably areas in your life you have tried to change and failed in doing so. So your independence, dog, is not delivering. Your independence is not providing. Your independence is not delivering peace. Your control is not getting you to that place. Imagine if no matter what you were going through, the adversity, the pain, the obstacle, the unknown, the uncertainty, imagine if you still had peace. Imagine if you were able to let go of control and say, okay, God, I trust you. I'm going to now seek you. He says in his word, seek and find, knock and the door will be opened. So there's an implication that we must seek and we must first knock in order to find God, in order for the door to be opened, right? God's not going to open a door. God's not going to show up and allow you to find him if you don't first seek, if you don't first knock. But imagine you're like, all right, God, I'm going to seek you. I'm going to knock. I'm going to build a real relationship with you because I don't want to do this all myself. This is too much. And you actually started reading God's word and you started believing some of his promises. You started believing all of his promises. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard the things that God does, the things that God has prepared for those who love him. If you actually started to believe in your soul that what I can do, what my life will become, if I allow God to work in it, if I let go everything I'm holding so tightly in my hands, if I let go my grip on those and hold everything with open palms and surrender to God and allow him, through the relationship that I've built with him, to pour wisdom and insight and direction into what I'm doing. And I'm going to take a back seat. That doesn't mean I'm not going to work. That doesn't mean I'm not going to show up. But I'm not going to hold on to control tightly. I'm going to partner with God instead of moving from a place of independence. I want God to be the CEO of my life, dog. Imagine if you got to the place where you believed that was the best place. You would experience the peace of God and so many other blessings from God. Provision, direction, blessing. He would improve you as a man. He would mold and shape your character. He would mature you. He would make you the best man you possibly could become. A man is a man. He can do a lot on his own. Even then, we're created in the image of likeness of God. So everything that we're able to do is only because of the God in us. But imagine if you allowed that God to work through you. You open your arms, you open your hands and said, okay, God, you can be the leader. You can show me what to do. I'm just your vessel here. I'm just the feet on the ground. I'm trying to step in sync with your spirit, your Holy Spirit. Show me the way. The peace that you would experience, the provision, the breakthrough would be massive. So boys, deep down we all want this, and deep down I know some of you have let go of it. You for some reason, you've said, I can't do that. I can't achieve that. Now's not the time. I'll start that later. Well, there's whatever it is, somebody can do it, but I can't. And I want to tell you guys, if you would take responsibility, you would realize this is not real freedom, and that 10 out of 10, the best health possible, is going to impact every area of your life in a positive way. If you stop being distracted, you would realize that variety is not actually what you want. You want loyalty, and you want to be the man who deserves a loyal woman and can build a legacy and a family with a woman. If you would stop moving in fear, what does God's word say? Do not fear. I think it says it 365 times, which is just, the perfection of God, how just intentional and detailed he is. Do not fear. So if you have God, you're not moving in fear. You wouldn't focus so much on security. You would focus on purpose, actually living, actually being fulfilled. Who's here for a check? You're here for a check, dog, to pay rent? You might as well roll over in the grave right now. And then if you could stop worrying about being always in control, stop believing the lie that independence, my way, my choices, is the best thing for you. The peace that God will bring, the purpose he will bring, the provision he will bring, everything that he will bring if you allow him to partner with you is so much greater than you'll ever be able to do in your own life. And I know this for a fact because, I had $250,000 plus a year after year after year. I was able to get relationships with women. I was able to, date and be with women and do the wrong things with them physically. All these things that were, men desire, getting with girls, hooking up with girls. I had the parties, the drugs, the alcohol. I could do all that stuff, and still I was so empty. And it was only when I started pursuing God and allowing Him to shape me into a man of responsibility, to shape me into a man who was focused, to shape me into a man who didn't operate in fear, but operated in boldness, and to shape me into a man who was not worried about control, but who was moving into surrender, that I found myself in the best shape of my life with the most incredible, loyal woman, truly living in purpose with the peace of God. So boys, if this is not you, first and foremost, you have to realize what hasn't been working requires a new solution. The fact that it hasn't been working means you need to do something new to get a new outcome. And if you can't quite figure it out, and if you need a structure, if you need a system, if you need accountability to actually move in the direction of the man you want to become, getting in the best shape of your life, dropping the distractions, the vices, the lust, preparing for your wife, finding purpose in your career, what you can do, in the description of this video, there's a link. You can book in a call with me. We'll talk about exactly where you are. We'll talk about what's holding you back. And we'll come up with a plan to help you execute and get to that place that you want to be. And if it's a good fit for you and me, we'll start ripping. You'll join the program. You and I will go one-on-one. And if not, I'll at least point you in the right direction. But fellas, you have to realize these are lies. This is not real freedom. This is not actually what you want. Variety, right? Variety never satisfies. Security is a fantasy. It's a lie. You always are going to have stress and be overwhelmed and, hate what you're doing day to day. And independence. Independence doesn't get you to where you want to be. It may get you part of the way, but never truly to where you want to be. And God has this in store for you. A man who's powerful physically, mentally, spiritually, who has an incredible wife, builds an incredible legacy, a man moving in purpose, moving with the power and the peace of God. Boys, tap in. Let's go.